So now I'm going to connect with the education app to the Sphero. So on my iPad, I'm going to find the Sphero EDU. This is going to be our programming. So I'm going to open this app, and there's chances are it'll probably need to do an update. Usually there's an update for things. So it's got some directions here, and gives you a little, okay, so it's drag and drop block programming, but if you're really, really confident, you can also do it in Java. Alright, so you can show that you can do all kinds of sensor data and all kinds of stuff with these Spheros. We're just going to, right now, click continue as a guest for this. Let's see if we need to eventually sign in. To get started, we're going to click on the plus, and it's going to create our first program. For this, my first program, why don't we erase that. I'm going to put your name, and let's just put a 1 for the first program and click save, so you'll be your name and save. Okay, the next thing it's going to do is it's going to look for a Sphero robot. Remember, there's a dozen of them on the cart, so I've got a video of the cart here. Before it does that, though, it's going to give you a preview of what the screen's going to look like. So your blocks are all along the bottom, and you're going to drag them up into the screen. So if I want to drag up, say, a spin block, I would grab spin, drag it up, okay, into this area. Now, it warns you that you need to aim your robot. All right, so that's to orient it to begin with before you can run a program. So we're going to click on aim, and then here's where it's going to ask you to connect. So we have a Sphero Spark Plus, so that's this middle one right here. So I'm going to select that, and it's going to look for robots. Now you can see there's power bars, so choose one that has the strongest power. I'm going to select this one, and then once I select that one, you can see the bottom, number 9, just lit up down there. Now I used this one before, so it already has been updated. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then grab number 9, put that on my start here. I'll aim this down so you can see. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stand directly behind my robot, and I'm going to rotate this around so the blue light is pointing towards me. Okay, and then I'm going to start. So it's going to run this default program. It just drives forwards, turns around, drives back. I'm going to stop that. You can talk about sensor data, so there's all kinds of stuff. We don't need to do that right now. Alright, so let's take a look at this program. So they have it rolling forwards for a certain amount, and so if I click the roll, that tells you what direction. 0% is just straight forwards. The 80, if I just tap it with my finger, I can adjust the speed at which it goes. And then if I click on the speed for, it's set for 1 second, I can delete that. I can do fractions of a second, 0.25 seconds. I can do 70 seconds. I can do whatever I would like in here. So I'm just going to leave it, I'm going to do 2 seconds. Okay, then I'm going to have it delay for a second. And then if you look at the map here, it does a right turn. So, and I haven't measured the distance here. You would have to calculate that out and figure that out. So I'm going to put a, delete any blocks, you just drag them down below to the trash can here. So I'm going to grab this roll block, put this in, and I'm going to click on the roll and heading, and I want it to do 90-degree turn, because that's what that looks like that is. For what power, I'm going to kind of go slide my finger up, and we don't want to go really high. It's going to go really fast if we do that. And for a duration, if you don't put anything in here, it's not going to move. So we're going to tell it to go for 0.5 seconds, because it doesn't look like it has to go very far. Now, you can see there's a bunch of blocks here in the bottom. If I scroll, it goes through the different categories. There's lights, there's sounds, there's controls, all kinds of stuff. And you're just going to explore with these and see what they do and help each other out. To show you when it gets to the intersection where it would turn, right now the main light is blue. I'm going to change that so it's going to delay for a second, and then it's going to change, and I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to change it to like red. And then I just click on the screen, and then it's going to run the program. So I'm going to grab the robot, put it on my start. Before I do anything, I'm going to click on the aim, and I'm going to orient it to make sure it's pointing directly towards me where I'm standing, because that's important for it, so it knows the directions. And I'm going to run the program. Now you can see I ran it for way too long, so that 2 seconds is too much. I'm going to hit stop. So that 2 seconds is too long of a time. So I need to go grab my robot and make an adjustment. Okay? And there's measurements on the sheet. You can see the tape is a meter tape to help you. The only thing I ask is when you do this, please try not to walk on these mazes. This is maze number 3. You can see it's a little bit more difficult one. Some have color changes, some do all different things. Your goal is to stay within the maze and drive through it. Each time you've successfully done that, you should show your program to Mr. Granahan. And if you have any questions, let me know, but that's basically how this works. If I click back on this screen here, oops, I want to cancel. So I'm going to click back, and it says you created your first program, and you can see my program is saved here. Okay, and if I wanted to do a new program in here, I would simply in the bottom here click the plus, and I would choose what type of program I want. We are going to do block-based. Okay, so I would do Mr. Granahan 2. If you want to do block-based programming, you're not going to do drawing. Compatible robots, we have the Sphero, and then we click create, and here we have our new program. And with your new program, you can then create a whole new program for the next maze. So